Once upon a time, in a small fishing village along the West African coast, there lived a poor but hardworking fisherman named Kwame. Every day, Kwame would sail out in his canoe and cast his net, hoping for a good catch to feed his family. Most days, he returned with just enough fish to get by, but he remained humble and grateful for whatever he caught. One day, after hours of catching nothing, Kwame finally felt a strong tug on his net. Struggling to reel it in, he was surprised to see a large, gleaming tilapia caught in his net. Its scales sparkled like silver under the sun, and just as Kwame reached to free it, the fish began to speak. "Please, Kwame," the fish pleaded, its voice clear and soothing. "Spare my life, do not eat me. I am an enchanted creature." Kwame froze, unable to believe his ears. Was he dreaming? He had heard tales of magical creatures in the river, but never had he imagined he would encounter one himself. After a moment, he steadied himself, curious yet respectful, and nodded in agreement. "All right," Kwame replied, his voice trembling. "I will spare your life." With a gentle hand, he lowered the fish back into the water. The fish swam in circles around the boat, its scales shimmering under the sun, then spoke again. "Thank you, Kwame. You are a good man." When Kwame returned home, he told his wife, Oma, what happened. She scolded him for letting the fish go and insisted that he should have asked for something in return. She pestered him to return to the river and ask the fish for a wish. "Are you related to poverty, that you don't want to let it go? Go back and ask for wealth, so we may live like the rich chiefs and traders in the town." Hesitantly, Kwame went back to the water's edge and called for the fish. When the fish appeared, he explained his wife's request, and the fish agreed to grant them a wish. The fish nodded. "Your wish is granted," it said. "Return home, and you shall see the change." Kwame hurried back to the village, barely able to contain his excitement. When he arrived, he found his old, worn hut replaced by a grand new home. Inside, he found fine clothes, golden ornaments, and baskets of food piled high. Amma clapped her hands with joy, and their children laughed as they ran around. For a while, the family basked in their newfound wealth, thrilled by the comforts and luxuries they had never known. But as days turned to weeks, Oma's excitement began to fade, replaced by a new longing. "Kwame," she said one evening, her eyes gleaming with a desire he hadn't seen before, "we have wealth now, but I want more. If we are truly to live like the chiefs, we must have power. Go back to the fish, Kwame, and ask for a chieftaincy." Kwame frowned, hesitant to ask for more. "But Oma," he said, "isn't what we have already enough? We can live comfortably now." Oma shook her head, her voice firm. "Comfort is good, but respect and power are better. If you truly care about our family, Kwame, you'll do this for us." Reluctantly, Kwame returned to the shore, his heart heavy as he called for the fish. The water shimmered, and the enchanted tilapia appeared, its gaze steady yet sorrowful. Kwame slowly communicated his wife's second request to the fish: "I ask for power, so that I may be respected and obeyed like the chiefs of our land." The fish sighed, a sad look in its eyes, but it granted the wish. "Go home, and it shall be so." When Kwame returned, he found that he had indeed been made a chief. People from the village came to him with gifts, bowing respectfully. Oma wore the finest jewelry and was treated like royalty. At first, the newfound respect brought them joy. But soon, Oma began to grow dissatisfied once again. "Kwame," she said one evening, her eyes burning with ambition, "we are rich, and you are a chief, but I want to rule over all the lands. Ask the fish to make us king and queen of the entire region." Kwame's heart sank. He felt they had already pushed their luck, but Oma insisted, reminding Kwame that the fish owed him its life and was indebted to him. With great reluctance, Kwame went back to the shore for the third time. As he called out to the fish, a strange darkness fell over the river, and the water churned ominously. The fish appeared, but its eyes were now filled with sadness. "I promise this is my last wish. Just make me and my wife the king and queen of the entire region," Kwame pleaded. The fish looked at him in silence, then spoke in a low voice, "You have asked too much. Go home, Kwame, and see what greed has brought you." Confused and fearful, Kwame returned to the village. To his horror, he found that his grand home had vanished. In its place stood his old, weathered hut, just as it had been before. The wealth, the chieftaincy, the power, all were gone, as if they had never existed. Oma wept, but there was nothing to be done. They were left with the life they had once known, and the weight of regret hung over them like a dark cloud. From that day on, Kwame and Oma lived humbly, never seeking more than they needed. Kwame often sat by the shore, gazing out at the waves, reflecting on the choices he had made. He told the tale of the enchanted fish to others, hoping that they might learn from his mistakes. In the end, he came to understand that true wealth lay not in gold or power, but in the simple joys of family, gratitude, and contentment. And so, Kwame's story became a lesson for all who heard it, a reminder of the dangers of greed and the wisdom of humility.